Hi, welcome to Polyphonic Press. I'm Jeremy Boyd, and today I'm going to be talking about the time that Keith Moon ran over his bodyguard. Here we go. So on January 4th, 1970, Keith Moon was out partying with his wife, a few friends, and his bodyguard, Neil Boland. They were at the opening of the Red Lion pub, but it was full of working-class skinheads who really were not comfortable with Keith Moon flaunting his rock star status. Driving up to the club in a Bentley and ordering expensive brandy really didn't help Keith Moon's case as an outsider. But by the time the bar closed, patrons were drunker and starting to antagonize Keith Moon and the people in his party. As they left, the crowd gathered around the Bentley that they arrived in and were starting to throw things and were preventing them from leaving. Trying to get control of the crowd, Neil Boland stepped out and tried to persuade them from clearing out of the way, and Keith Moon jumped into the driver's seat, and he was quite intoxicated and in a bit of a panic, and he didn't realize that the car was starting to move. He had actually never really driven before, so he didn't really know what he was doing. But what he didn't realize is that Neil Boland was underneath the car, and his body was dragged down the road for several feet. Boland was pronounced dead, and Keith Moon was charged with his death as well as driving under the influence and without a license. After an investigation, the death was ruled as an accident, and Keith Moon was cleared of the death charges, but was still charged with driving under the influence and without a license. The incident would haunt Keith Moon until his death in 1978, and Neil Boland was considered Keith Moon's best friend, and he always felt responsible for his death. And it's really just a tragic event in someone's life, especially someone who was as emotionally fragile as Keith Moon, who had all these addictions and emotional problems. I really feel bad for not only the person that was killed, but also Keith Moon, who was just trying to escape, and he ended up killing his best friend. So that's what happened on This Week in 1970. Be sure to subscribe so you know when we post new videos. You can check us out on Twitter and Facebook. You can help us out on Patreon. That would be really great if you could do that. And as well as the website polyphonicpress.net. All those links are in the description. And that's about it. I'm Jeremy Boyd. Take it easy.